Join in and follow along as they continue their quest of saving rusty relics, giving the past a future while serving God and building rods. Here at Turnin Rust, brought to you in part by Maxed Trailers.
Hey man, how's it
going
going?
on, man?
No, not much. Look like you're tinkering with something fun.
Yeah, always tinkering.
Looks good, man.
Appreciate it.
Good. Old things come a long ways, ain't it?
Yeah, still far from done though.
Yeah.
It's a hot rod, it's never finished.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I was out and about and knew you told me about that old C10 you had.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's out here. So
Huh?
66. It's almost a barn find.
Sure has some cool colors
Pasture
on it.
find.
Oh yeah. Did you find it somewhere around here? Or?
Yeah, it's a pretty local truck.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big back window.
It looks rough, but it's a hidden jewel.
Yeah. It's fairly straight. Yeah. Little bit of a doohickey over here.
A little bit.
Other than that, not too bad.
It's got its whiskey dents.
Got a motor or anything in it?
It does. It's got a 283 and 3 on the column. I did get the old truck to fire up. It needs carburetor though.
Yeah.
Carburetor, probably some fuel lines and brakes.
3-speed.
3-speed on the column.
Electronic ignition.
Found that in the glove box. Found that Montgomery Ward at that. Had a new harness and everything. Put a new cap on it. Put the electronic ignition, fired right up.
Yeah.
So you got to see the inside of the truck to appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Lock.
yeah. I ain't got the keys to it. Luckily, the vent window's left unlocked.
It's got a redneck lock on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Check out the odometer.
Looks like this one just was setting for a little while, wasn't it?
Sitting for a while.
Hey man, it is clean. Still got the old rubber mat in it. Huh.
Still got cardboard on the fuel tank and in the glove box.
Oh yeah. No rust above the windshield there. Guess I need to quit talking the truck up though.
Oh, there's still more surprises to it.
Got a title or anything on it or?
Yeah, I got more than just a title.
Oh yeah.
Let me go get it.
Pretty clean old truck.
Yeah. Got a little caked on oil on the front.
He said it did run.
Yeah.
Wish it wasn't a long bed, but there's always people.
Probably
looking
been a
for
while
it.
since y'all seen one of these.
Oh yeah.
Still in the glove box with it. It's got all the dealer paperwork, owner's manual, protecto plate.
Yeah, this was a good little old grandpa find, wasn't it? Good old
sir.
find.
Motor, transmission, everything, numbers matching.
Dang. Well, definitely something I'm interested in. You probably knew that when you contacted me about it.
Yeah, I'll make you a deal on it.
Yeah. You have any idea where you need to be at?
I need to get at least 15 for it.
1,500. You say you have heard it at least turn over and try to
Oh,
crank? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've got the oil bath breather for it. The only thing I ain't got is the keys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well we can make that happen. Huh. Man, you know this was a pretty old truck back in its day.
Yeah, it was.
Still has lots of potential.
It ain't got no rust. That's the good thing. So
Yeah,
you ain't got to
that's-
start replacing panels on it.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. A lot of the typical spots, it's not too bad at all. It's got a really cool patina. A lot of people are taking the, it's a long bed, but I still think they're cool. But you see a lot of people taking them long beds and chopping them down now, so that's definitely doable if someone wanted to.
Yeah.
Man, the only thing really downfall is the dent on the bedside for me. I mean, something that someone's going to notice right off the bat. You can't.
That's what we noticed.
Yeah. And tell me this: you still have that old what was it, Gulf sign or something you had a while on back?
Yeah.
Still got it?
Yeah.
Is it still for sale?
Yeah. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I'll probably make a deal on it too.
We've been talking about trying to throw us up some kind of a Turnin Rust sign down there at the shop to kind of catch some attention and.
Well, that'd be the good one.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect start, kind
6 foot sign, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it over here if you want to look at it.
Yeah, let me check it out.
Move some of this junk around.
Yeah, man, that thing just has a cool look to it.
Got the pole to go with it.
Oh yeah?
It's all there too. It don't look heavy, but it's heavy.
Oh, I can imagine. They built everything to last back then.
The guy I got it from, he said his dad owned an oil company, and that his dad drug this sign with him everywhere they moved. He would drag that sign along with him. And he always asked, he said, "Dad, why don't you drag that sign around with us?" He was like, "That sign's gonna be worth some money one day."
Oh yeah?
But
well-
you just don't see them anymore.
Right, yeah.
I personally have never seen one like this. I see a lot of Gulf signs that are flat and are porcelain, but never the double-sided
Right.
station
Yeah.
sign.
It'd be perfect for what we're looking to do at it. Just kind of throw something up there to catch some attention. And, kind of matches the look of the old station we got
Yeah.
down there.
I wish definitely.
Well, yeah, last I talked to you on it, I think you were at, $300 on it. Would you do, say, if I bought the truck, if I gave you the $300 on the sign, would you do $1,200 on the truck cash today?
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll work for
At least
me,
I know
man.
y'all gonna use it.
Yeah.
That's more than I'm doing with it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do, like I said, definitely have plans with that, and ain't no telling what we can do with this whole thing. It's got a ton of potential, so.
What about a Cummins? Y'all need a Cummins motor?
I always need a Cummins motor. You
Got
got one?
automatic behind it.
Really?
Yeah. But there's a stipulation. You're gonna have to pull it out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Was it a school bus?
It's in a motorhome.
Motorhome? Yeah.
It's in a motorhome.
Heck man, yeah.
I can get it to you, but you're gonna have to pull it out.
Yeah. Heck, that'll work. I'll get back with you on it. Definitely interested. Hit me up before before it goes to anyone else and see if we can work something out on it.
I figured I could drop it off at your house before I get to mine.
He definitely want me to buy it.
Right. You might have to give me a ride.
Yeah.
Gonna go ahead and obligate you right now.
Yeah. Well, that'll work, man. I'll go grab you some cash and try to see if I can get that big old trailer out here and
Yeah.
load it up. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Looks like we were able to do another deal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, holler at me on that old motorhome though, whenever you get it, and
I'll find y'all some more.
yeah, appreciate it. And like I said, can't wait to see what we can do with this whole thing. It's definitely got some potential, so we're gonna try to see if we can bring it out of her.
Oh yeah.
We'll drive back down here in a few minutes.
Yeah. It probably would. It probably would.
All right, man. Well, we'll get out of your hair. So
All right.
I'll let you later, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. See ya.
Thanks, sir.
See you later.
Well, that deal worked out pretty well for us. I mean, this is a really clean old truck. I love the fact that it's a big back window truck as well. He told me that the truck will run, so I'm pretty sure it won't be too hard to get it to crank up. The back brakes are locked up solid, so it's kind of a chore to get it on this trailer. We'll get them unlocked, put a battery on this thing, see if we can't crank it up. I'm probably gonna go ahead and just try to hammer out that dent the best we can so we can save the patina on this truck. Somebody will be looking for this truck and we should be able to do well with it. So it's been about a month since we purchased this old truck, and we haven't had a whole lot of time to mess with it so far. Basically unloaded it with the forklift. We did hammer and dolly out the dent on the bedside just a little bit, the best we could. Now we're going to dig into this motor. It looks like it should have potential to run. Of course, it was running some point back. We always hear that story. So we're just going to dig into it now, see if we can get it to crank up and see how she sounds. I know that he don't have a key to the truck, so we'll definitely have to figure that out on bypassing that. So that's one aspect.
Yep.
I was looking at the odometer. It only shows like 6,000 miles, so apparently that's probably rolled over, as there is a little bit of grime and stuff on this motor. Quite a bit, actually.
Yep.
But it looks like they were just running a hot wire. So it's got the electronic ignition, so we won't have to worry about points or nothing, but looks like they were just running a hot wire to the battery for the power to that. So we can just do that.
Check the oil.
Yeah, check the fluids. Perfect. Right on the full mark anyway. Let's just try to get a battery on it, and then I'll get inside the truck, pull the ignition wires down, see if I can figure out which wire will jump across the starter. Prime it up with a little fuel and see what it does.
Let's see if it turn over.
Yeah. I'll go grab a battery. So positive on that side. Already got the ignition wires pulled off the ignition switch, it looks like. So I just have to figure out which wire goes to the starter solenoid. I might be able to pull the switch out. It may say on the back side. The bad thing about this truck is it didn't have the keys when we got it, so neither the doors will open from the outside or the ignition switch work. Yeah. So that'll show me exactly which wire is going to run to the ignition, which wire is going to run to the solenoid, and I can just jump it across right here at these wires. So it looks like the purple wire is going to be our starter solenoid, and this big red wire is going to be our battery. Cool.
Did you find what you need?
Yeah, there's someone had the ignition wires pulled off the ignition switch, so
Alrighty.
I should be able to just jump it across. You got any fuel?
We can get some real quick.
Oh, got a horn. Horn works. Let's just turn it over. I'll see if I can turn it over first before you hook that hot wire up to the coil there. Ready?
Yeah.
Turning over good. I just wanted to pump a little oil up here and there. I guess if you want to hook that hot wire up and try a little gas. I'm assuming everything, there's two ignition boxes here. Yeah, this one's just sitting there, and I guess we just need to pull that one off and screw the new one back on. Looks like they just installed it but left the old one. So, and the wiring's not even too bad on this thing. This truck's pretty clean.
Pretty clean except for the little grunge on the motor.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Oh, stupid horn. Ready?
Yeah.
Well,
try it again?
Yeah. It runs.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely runs.
Quiet.
Yeah, it is pretty quiet. Do you want to try to just gravity feed this one like we typically do until we
Probably
figure
till we know.
Let's see if we can gravity feed it. We'll limp it down there to the shop, and if we can get the brakes unlocked on it, limp it down there, and then we can go through more stuff. I'd like to get the fuel tank running through it as long as it's not too bad.
Right.
So I'll go grab a tank if you want to figure out a way we can hook that up.
Alrighty.
Do you have a flat blade?
No, I don't have one. I'll go get one.
I guarantee you a new car that's set outside this long, there's no way.
No, there's no way. Too many sensors and stuff that.
Yeah. Which, you know, most of the time stuff's obviously parked for some kind of a reason on it, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the motor was this one. Yeah, definitely gonna need some water.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be thirsty. Okay,
Ready?
we're ready.
Hook that wire up.
Need to put that on there just so I don't forget it later.
Yeah, we'll have to put some water in it. So. Squirting. Ready?
Yeah.
All the gauges are working. Except the fuel gauge.
No rattles or not.
Crazy!
Yeah.
Pull that fuel. So as long as there's either absolutely no fuel in the tank or rusted line, or because it should have pumped up some by now, something dirty or something.
Right.
So we can, heck, I think we can put some water in the thing, and that'll be enough fuel to make it down to the shop, and then we'll try to get into the gas tank and put some fuel in it. And it doesn't look like it's going to take much on this one at all.
I don't think so. Nope.
As long as the clutch and everything on the transmission seems to work. All the gauges were working, oil pressure looked good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Only thing, the fuel gauge shows full, so you know, it's probably not working. It probably stuck, but let's get some water in it.
Okay.
Nice and rusty in there. Ain't taking much so far. Not real clean up in there though. Crank it up, make sure you can see if that water pump's circulating it. Got that hot wire hooked up?
No, I will. Yeah, we got a freeze plug or something blowed out.
Yep. Yeah. At least it's just a freeze plug.
Yeah. Easy one to get at too.
Yeah. Well, it ain't ever gonna hold water as long as that's leaking, as quick as it's leaking. but it'll be enough to, we ain't got far to go. Top it off, move fast. Yeah, that's pouring out pretty quick, ain't it? Yeah, we can make it down there. Definitely gonna have to get some tires on the back of this thing. Another prime example of tires that take air that never should have.
Yeah. It works for me.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the cap.
We're not exactly sure how long this old truck's been sitting, but the way it cranked up is absolutely insane for something like this. Pretty much the first time we primed it, she fired up and ran. There's absolutely no internal noises on this thing. I haven't seen any smoke. We've got our gas tank just gravity feeding the carburetor right now. We've got a bad freeze plug that's leaking, so we're gonna have to replace that so it'll hold the coolant the way it needs to. But we're just gonna try to limp it down to the shop. We got more tools, we got a little bit more shade, and it's just gonna be a little bit easier to work with. Pick up the hot wire. Work?
I think that'll work. No further than you go and it should.
Ah, she's moving. Ah. Got so excited about the motor cranking up so easy, kind of forgot about the brake situation. Please don't fall off, gas tank. Sure, people love seeing this old truck coming at them on the highway. Wrong side of the road. Well, this was our first trial run in it and actually did pretty good. I was a little unsure on the clutch at first, but it seemed like the back brakes, once they unstuck, it seemed to work pretty good. Of course, I've only had it in first gear, haven't got to try out any of the other gears yet, but first thing, we're gonna get this freeze plug replaced. We're gonna go ahead and try to get some fuel in the factory tank, see if we can get it pumping up, and maybe take this thing for a little bit of a further journey. Now that we got everything good and hot and a lot harder to work with, we're going to attempt to knock out this old freeze plug. When you get down there at it, you can tell it just has a really small rust hole in it. So we should be able to knock it out. We're just going to run up to the parts place. Hopefully they'll have one in stock. Pop that bad boy in there, get a little bit of coolant in it. That way it's not running hot on us. So I'll grab your screwdriver.
Alrighty.
don't know if that one's going to be long enough or
It should be. Maybe too long.
need a light.
Yeah, it'd help if I had a little bit of light. Let me see if I can turn this. There we go.
Too long?
Too long, really. It'd help if we had a shorter one, but sometimes you got to make do with what you got. All right, I got it.
Got it. Warm?
Very warm. Got some needle
Pliers.
nose, or even a small vice grip would help. It's pretty bad shape once you get to seeing it.
I'm going to go ahead and pull off this old ignition module. Pretty rusted out.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was the only spot I seen that it was losing any water though, so hopefully that'll be the only one. Like I said, at least it was at an easy spot to get at.
Yeah. Most of the time it's right up behind the manifold. I'd say it's pretty bad shape.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to do a good system flush on that thing.
Right. And it's hard to say. Once we get this one fixed, it may find a weaker point and blow another, but hopefully not.
Do you want to run up there and see if he's got one?
Alrighty.
I'll probably try to, I'm guessing the key to the fuel tank is missing as well, so we're going to have to try to break into that thing, see if I can pop that fuel cap off and get some fuel in it. And I need to figure out a wire. I'm not seeing the wire that ran to the coil originally from the ignition switch. There's just all these wires run to the module, but there's not a wire running back into the cab from the ignition switch, so we may have to run another wire so I can start to kill it inside the truck.
And in the meantime, I'll do a search and rescue on this freeze plug I just lost. There it is.
Don't spend over $500 on it.
Yeah. Here locally, that's going to be a challenge. Right, I'll be right back.
All right. While we sent Dad after the new freeze plug, I'm going to go ahead and tackle the locking gas cap on this truck. When we bought it, we didn't get any keys included, so we've had to get inside the truck from the inside of it. I can't get into the fuel tank right now, and obviously we've been cranking it by hot wiring it. But something that's really cool about this truck, other than the fact that it's super clean and super untouched, is that when my buddy found it, he even found the title in the glove box. This is something that I've always wanted to find, but I've never had the privilege of actually being able to find one. Inside this packet here, which is something's pretty funny, it says, always remove ignition keys and lock doors when leaving car unattended. That's exactly what this owner did, hence we've having to break into it, hot wire the truck to get it going. But there's some really cool documents in here, including the original owner's manual is in here. Obviously the title, the Chevrolet Protecto plate, which is rarely found, rarely seen. From what I've read up on it, It's basically you bring this in when you would go get your truck serviced. You would show them. It shows what motor's in the truck, what rear end, and everything's numbers matching. Everything matches up with this tag here. So we have a completely untouched original motor, original rear end, original transmission. Everything goes with this protector plate right here. We even have the original receipt from when this thing was purchased brand new. I mean, to find the title in the glove box is exciting in itself, but to find this much documents with it, I mean, it's just outstanding. When I first laid eyes on it, first thing that popped in my head was to chop it down, make it a short bed truck. I love the big back window it has, but as clean as this truck is, as smooth as it's running, and this really cool documents, I think we're gonna have to pass it on to somebody that just wants to leave it like it is. We've tried some spare keys we've had around the shop. Sometimes you can look out and get an old key to work in here and get it to come loose. None of them seem to work. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and drill out this tumbler. I can get a screwdriver in there or something that'll allow this lock to come undone where we can get this cap off, just put a regular one on there. And there she goes. Very nasty up inside there. Hate to see that, but we'll have to put a inline fuel filter on it for sure so it doesn't put any of that up in the carburetor.
Well, I got one.
Found one?
Yep. Let me get a wrench to...
Oh, is it the rubber kind?
Yeah, the rubber kind.
I'm going ahead and disconnecting this jumper wire they had ran to the coil here so I can just run it back inside to the ignition switch where I can actually be able to kill the truck and crank the truck inside there. So I don't see the original wire that would have ran back to it, so I'll just run another one back to it. It should work fine. I got that old gas cap off there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had to drill it out and basically destroy it, but...
How hard was that?
It wasn't too bad.
I'm
Not
ready to go.
the cleanest thing inside there, doesn't look like, so once we get this thing to fire up, we'll put some fuel in it and just let it gravity feed for now until we pump it out, maybe run it into a little bucket to see what it looks like. And, I'm sure we got a little inline filter we can put in between there, because I'm sure it's probably going to be a little dirty. But
Yeah.
you already got that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, just take a little wrench and it said turn it 2 to 3 full turns. So
Cool.
it's
Guess
a lot
we're going
easier
to
than
try to
the
go ahead and put some more
other. Some more
water in it.
Okay.
So there should have been a wire that ran off this ignition switch up to our coil. Can't really see here. Ignition would have been the bottom. So a red wire, or orange. There's no wires that color that's run up through there, so I'm just going to go ahead and rerun another one directly into that spot right there. You done with this light?
Yeah. I'm just putting in the summer style.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and see about replacing this hose right here, Lance. It looks like it's kinked over and pinched pretty hard.
At the fuel pump there.
Fuel pump, yep.
Yeah. As soon as I get this wire ran back in there, we'll be close to cranking it back up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to order a new factory style ignition switch for this truck, because with it having all this really good shape harness, I really don't want to have to cut into that and do an aftermarket style switch. So we'll order a new stock switch that it takes, but for right now I'll just be able to jump this wire across to our main hot wire that runs off the battery. I'll jump it across there, and then I'll also be able to jump across the starter solenoid from that same wire. So this wire will be in here, it'll be hot to the cool, crank it up. If I need to kill it, I'll just pull the wire out for now.
Not that I can reach in there with those pliers.
Got a grip?
It's got a grip. Let me come off just a hair more. I mean, quite. There we go. No, it's far enough off there now. It drew first blood.
Oh man, I don't remember which one it was. These hose clamps might not be big enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little fuel in the tank.
Okay.
Sounds like there's some in it.
Hopefully it's gas.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let us just give a shot at it first before I put too much in there. Good thing about these big old vehicles is the inside makes great tables to hold all your tools and parts you're working on.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about having to reach into a tight spot and cutting your hands all up. All right, we're good on this end.
hard to say. They may have thought they weren't getting fire and put
Right,
this
yeah.
new ignition
True.
module on it as well. Not much in there, but should be enough to see.
See if it's gonna crank.
We don't want it. Well,
Yeah, well,
it'll run off what's in the bowl of the carburetor. Oops.
ha.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, we ran this truck off the fuel in the carburetor bowl and just had the temporary tank ran straight to the fuel pump. While it was running, there was absolutely no fuel coming out of the fuel pump. So maybe that's why this truck was parked back in the day, not really sure. I know for 100% fact that we're not gonna have a fuel pump like this at our local parts store around here, so he'll have to order it. I do have an inline fuel pump we can just put in there. That way we can move this truck on over to the car wash, get it rinsed off, and just getting it looking a little better before we list it for sale. We're just going to use this regular electric inline fuel pump. It'll just go in place where the fuel pump is here. I'll just hook it up, I'll ground it out, run a wire either directly to the battery, or I can run it in to the ignition switch there where I can kill it off, where it shuts the fuel pump off when we shut the motor off. So I'll basically just go ahead and run that in here right now. That'll allow the fuel just to pump straight from the fuel tank that we have on the truck, and we'll be able to do away with that temporary tank we were running up here on the hood. So when you're installing this thing, be sure it's got an obvious flow mark, which means that's which way the fuel is going to flow, from the tank to the carburetor. Seems pretty like a goofy mess up, but I've seen it happen. So typically this pump has mounting holes where you would bolt it in place, but for right now this is just temporary, so we're just going to let it, the fuel lines will hold it in place to be able to get this truck moved out of the shop again. This is a brand new fuel pump. We haven't ran it on anything yet, so it has just an inline filter right before it there, so that should catch any trash that's going to be coming out of this tank. Ground it right here where the factory ground on or the battery ground goes to. So for right now, I think I'm just going to hook onto this wire, splice into it with a longer wire, and for right now just run it straight to the battery, and I can just disconnect it whenever when the truck's not running, just disconnect it so the fuel pump don't stay engaged. So on this truck, the idea was to basically just see what we even had. Well, when we bought the truck, all we knew was the story we were told on it, and what we could see, that it was really a clean truck exterior wise, and even interior wise. It still has the factory rubber mat in the floor. Even the gas tank still has the cardboard on the outside of it. So this truck was really untouched, and just really cool finding it, and knowing that it runs now just makes a world of difference. So with all that hooked up, I should be able to just hook up this to our hot, and the fuel pump should engage. Yep. So we should be getting a little bit of fuel up there. I may go ahead and disconnect this real quick, and we'll just run the fuel pump before we try to crank it. Let this run into a jug and just see what the gas even looks like. I know it's going to be some old gas. So what I'm going to do before we run the fuel into this carburetor is just go ahead and let this fuel pump it into this jug. I know this gas is really old, and there's probably going to be some trash in it. It's got this inline filter that we have, so hopefully it'll catch all of it, but hopefully it also don't clog up the filter. We just don't want to get a lot of trash into this carburetor, especially how it's idling. It's running pretty smooth, so we just want to kind of see what it looks like before we get further involved in it. And it's really not that bad. You can smell that it's definitely old gas, but there's not a lot of trash or anything that I'm seeing in it. So I think we're going to be good to go on hooking that thing up. So now we should be able to run this truck off of the factory gas tank and not have the ghetto gas tank setting up on the hood. So one thing fixed. Dad was digging around and found an old tumbler that we bought for a '65 Chevy C10 that we have. When we got this truck, obviously there was no keys with it. So we removed the old tumbler out of this ignition switch. This will save a lot of headache, a lot of troubles, a lot of rigging. So we'll be able to just put this tumbler in there. It'll still be the same wiring it originally had from the factory, and we'll be able to crank this truck without hot wiring it. Basically the tumbler will just go in, as long as everything's lined up, turn it, and there it goes. So now we have a key to the truck. And you can see to plug it in. Voila. Hey Dad, let's go ahead and run that wire from the fuel pump back in there to the ignition switch. That way we're not having to open the hood and disconnect it. It'll kick on and off with the switch. So should be able to run it through the same hole. Just right there.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. You may have to cut that end off of it so it doesn't come through with the frayed side.
I will.
Got some pliers?
Got some headed your way.
Gotcha. Let me know when I get the slack out of it.
Okay, you got quite a bit to take. Okay?
Good?
Yeah.
Does it run okay on the motor in there?
That's what I'm doing now. I'm positioning it so it doesn't get up into anything.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good. It's just temporary. We can come in and zip tie it down here in just a little bit, but well, it's just a temporary fix anyways.
We'll have a mechanical fuel pump here tomorrow, so this is just kind of a temporary solution to moving the truck a little better. Well, that should have fuel. Go ahead and put the ignition switch back up in the socket it belongs in. Try her out. Well, looky there. So apparently, you need to install this tumbler with the ignition switch installed on the truck. So I should be able to pull that right back out, screw it back in, pop the tumbler back in. You got that paper clip? Better. All right, we should be able to be good on. Go ahead and try it out and see what we got. Try it out.
Try it out.
Fuel pump running?
It's running.
Whoa, whoa.
We're flooding.
Flooding it?
Yep. Thought we had a leak there first, but it doesn't.
It's too much pressure. Float stick?
I don't know.
I'm just going to turn the key over so you can see what it's doing.
Okay.
Not flooding?
It's not flooding right now.
I'm going to go ahead and try to crank it.
Okay.
It's flooded now.
Working.
Praise God, the radio even works. Headlights? No headlights. Got a dash light. Radio even keeps going. So now we got a ignition switch in, we got a lot more working stuff. I was hoping the headlights would work. I got dash lights, but probably just a bad ground or something.
Could be.
I think this thing's a lot more movable right now. So if we want to, we can make it over to the car wash, rinse it off. I see mud that's caked up on that control arm over there. It looked like the truck was sitting plumb on its belly at some point. I say I put a little bit more fuel in the tank, take it over there and get it rinsed off, and
Yep.
get her a step closer to
New owner.
a new owner. Well, she seemed to make it to the car wash just fine. One of the things that caught my attention when we come across this truck was the beautiful colors it had left on it. I love this patina. I love the old turquoise with the rust color. To me, those colors work really well together to give you a really good, true patina. What we're going to do is just knock off the old dust, the old grime on this thing. There's a lot of mud caked up underneath it from where it's just been sitting out in the woods. So we'll get it all rinsed off. Hit it with a little bit of linseed oil. That's really going to make it shine up a little bit and make these colors really pop. We gotta hurry up and apply some linseed oil on this old girl. It works best when it's applied right into the direct sunlight. We're about to run out of that, and they don't sell that here in town locally either. So this is just a basic bulled linseed oil. You can find it at almost any hardware store. I believe we bought this at Home Depot. But it's really easy to apply. Put it in a bowl, take you a little rag, just spread it across there. A little bit goes a long ways on this. You don't want to put too much on it, but it'll really bring out all these colors where you can see them a lot more. It'll protect the metal. You'll have to reapply it every month or so, but it works really good to make this thing have a little bit of a shine. If you want to, we'll just go ahead and tackle this side and get it knocked out.
Can you start the front?
Sure. A lot of people would think this truck had been clear coated when you use this linseed oil on it. The problem you run in with clear coating them is the clear coat's only going to last so long, and it's going to start delaminating and peeling off and just have a huge mess. Where this is just, it's not going to last as long. It'll die back a little bit. It won't be as shiny as clear coat, but you won't have the problem later on of your clear coat flaking off everywhere. The negative downfall on this stuff is every time you use it, you go home smelling like a greasy French fry from McDonald's.
Mom would say that's better than what I normally go home smelling like.
You can see here the difference of where we applied the linseed oil and where we haven't. It just gives the metal a little bit of a deeper sheen, a nicer look, brings out a lot of the colors on it. This will die back a little bit. It won't be near this shiny, but it'll just give it a nice rich look. Makes the truck look like a lot less of a project and have a lot more potential to it. Well, when we bought this old truck, I had every intention on turning it into a short bed truck. We got it home. It seemed to crank right up very easy. It had a freeze plug we had to replace, no big deal. Found really awesome documents on it and couldn't just find ourselves at a point to where we wanted to make it into a short bed any longer. The truck has a ton of potential. We spent a day's worth of work on it, and the potential has increased by 10 times in my opinion. It's just a beautiful truck. We're gonna put it out there for sale. If you're interested in this truck, it'll be a no reserve auction starting at 99 cents. So we'll let the buyer decide what it's worth, and hopefully it'll go to a new home.